Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, welcome once again to our Surah series where we explore Quran and we try to learn the profound messages of Quran and apply them to our daily life in the modern day context. So today in this session, we are going to discuss Surah Al-Masad, which is a surah that stands as a powerful warning against arrogance and enmity towards Islam and also the consequences of opposing truth. So we will be seeing who was Abu Lahab and why is he condemned in the Quran. So I'll be discussing that in detail in this session. And we also see what can we learn from his downfall and how does it apply to us today in this modern world. And what does the surah teach us about family, ego, and rejecting guidance. So all these are what we are actually going to look into. So if you see this surah is unique because it was in fact revealed to condemn a specific person, that's Abu Lahab, but still its lessons apply to all of us because there is one Abu Lahab lies within each of us. So let's explore the historical background, the key themes of the surah, and the life-changing lessons from this surah. And we will also try to apply the messages of this surah in our daily life, and we'll make commitment to ourselves from today onwards that you will be applying this in your daily life. So let's start with the background and the revelation context. So if you see, Surah Al-Masad was revealed in Mecca when the Prophet Muhammad have started openly calling people to Islam. Perish the hands of Abu Lahab and perish he. Let's start with this verse. See, this is one of the biggest enemies of Islam was none other than Abu Lahab. That's the Prophet's own uncle. So Abu Lahab and his wife, Umm Jameel, led a campaign of hatred, mockery, and abuse against Islam at that point of time. And the incident of Mount Safa, I hope all of you know this. So the Prophet once gathered the Qurayshis at Mount Safa to warn them of the hereafter, right? But again, he asked them, if I told you that an army was behind this mountain coming to attack you, would you believe me? So he asked the Qurayshis. They all replied, yes, we have never known you to lie. Then the Prophet said that I'm warning you of a severe punishment if you do not worship Allah alone. So if you look at Abu Lahab's arrogant response in this context is, instead of listening, Abu Lahab in fact angrily insulted the Prophet by saying, may you perish, did you call us for this? I repeat, may you perish, did you call us for this? So because of this disrespect and arrogance of Abu Lahab, Allah revealed this surah as a direct condemnation of Abu Lahab. So that's why I told you this surah condemn Abu Lahab. And you see, this is a verse that I was starting with, right? Perish the hands of Abu Lahab and perish he. So the lesson here is, see, the rejecting the truth because of pride and arrogance, that definitely going to lead to destruction. So that's exactly what we will be seeing here. And if you look at the overall meaning of Surah Al-Masad, see, I repeat that verse again, perish the hands of Abu Lahab and perish he. I told you this is the surah which is revealed to condemn Abu Lahab. So Allah curses Abu Lahab and guaranteeing his destruction here. And if you look at another verse, his wealth and whatever he earned will not benefit him, which means despite being one of the richest men in Mecca, his wealth could not save him. So what does that indicate and what is the meaning of this? You yourself can explain. Whatever you have, right, then you may not, these things may not help you in some situation. In other words, if you see, he will burn in a fire of blazing flames. So Allah declared that Abu Lahab's fate is a hellfire. And in other words, and his wife, the carrier of firewood. So his wife, Jameel, also actively harmed the Prophet and will face severe punishment also. And another verse, if you see, around her neck is a rope of palm fiber. So she used to carry, thorny branches and place them in the Prophet's path. So as a result, she will be punished with a rope of palm fiber in hell. So the lesson here is, as I told you in the beginning itself, no matter how wealth or how much wealth, status, or power a person have. Now, let's not only talk about Abu Lahab. Let's take it as a lesson, the learning lesson for ourselves. Whatever is the case, no matter howsoever powerful you are, how much wealth you have, or the status you have, it's worthless without faith in Allah. Now, if you look at the key themes in this Surah Al-Masad, arrogance and hatred towards Islam, that definitely going to lead to destruction. So that's the verse that I was starting with, right? Perish the hands of Abu Lahab and perish he. So here Abu Lahab is a symbol, a symbol of hatred, and he's a symbol of arrogance against Islam. So Abu Lahab was not just a disbeliever, he was an active enemy of Islam, and he mocked the Prophet, and he spread lies and in fact physically harmed him. Because of his hatred, Allah Himself condemned him, and this surah is revealed to condemn Abu Lahab. So, the lessons again, if I want to discuss, opposing the truth out of arrogance, that lead to ruin, that lead to destruction, as you see in the case of Abu Lahab. No status, no power, no money can protect those who fight against Allah's guidance. So there is a verse in Surah Al-Nahl, if I want to quote that, indeed, those who disbelieve and turn people away from the path of Allah will have a severe punishment. Okay, so that's all what I wanted to discuss about that. And again, if you look at this point that I told you, wealth and power do not guarantee success. I can elaborate upon this by taking one verse from here. His wealth and whatever he earned will not benefit him, right? I have already discussed about this. So Abu Lahab was one of the wealthiest men in Mecca at that point of time, yet his money could not save him from the hellfire. And because he is fighting, in fact, against faith and against Allah, and his arrogance, it's very clear that he's, bound to have that destruction. So his arrogance made him believe he was untouchable, but that's not the case with Allah. So the lesson here is the true success, it's not about wealth, it's not about status, it's not about power. What it is, as Islam teach you, it's about righteousness. Islam is a religion of justice, fraternity, equality, following the righteous path and upholding truth and other things. So righteousness is what we need. It's not about wealth. If wealth makes us arrogant and blind to truth, then it becomes a curse instead of a blessing. Allah given you wealth as a blessing, but if close your eyes towards truth, or if that makes you arrogant, and if you are not respecting Allah after that, that wealth, which should have been a blessing or given as a blessing, will turn it into a curse, and it cannot help you in any situation. So there is a verse, if I want to take it from Surah Ashura, see, the day when neither wealth nor children will benefit, except for one who comes to Allah with a pure heart. Okay, no wealth, no children will benefit. Only those who come to Allah with a pure heart. Now, the next point that I want to discuss is the role of family in spreading hatred or goodness. The one which I told you about, his wife, right? So the verse is this, and his wife, the carrier of firewood. So Abu Lahab wife, Jameel, was just as wicked as her husband, almost same, right? So and she spread, slander about the Prophet and even placed thorns on his path. So her partnership in hatred with her husband, that led to her own punishment in hell. Allah declared that she will also be punished severely. So the lesson is, a spouse can either support righteousness or encourage evil. So your better half, in fact, that person should be leading you to the righteous path and not to lead you to evil. So here what you see is the better half is leading you to more evil, and you will also severely, equally punished. So families should strengthen each other's faith and not pull each other towards sin. That's the lesson that you can learn about family. So your wife or your husband, the other partner, you should help the other partner to go in the righteous path. That's your responsibility, and that you need to follow the faith, and you need to lead the other person, your partner, also towards the path of faith, not towards sin. So Surah, at Tahrim, there is a verse, "Oh, you who believe, protect yourself and your families from a fire whose fuel is people and stones." So now, what are lessons that we can learn from here? First, and most importantly, arrogance is a cause of destruction. Second, wealth and status do not guarantee success. Third, our family can lead us to Jannah or hell. Fourth, opposing the truth that lead to eternal loss. So most importantly, the point that I want to discuss here is arrogance is the cause of destruction. Abu Lahab's arrogance blinded him from seeing the truth, and it's very clear and evident. So never let pride stop you from accepting what is right. So the pride is coming from where you might have got money, you might have got wealth and power and status and other things. All these are blessings from Allah. Never let these things to stop you from accepting what is right, what is truth, and you have to follow the righteous path at any point of time. That absolute core integrity is required in Islam. Integrity towards Allah, integrity towards following truth and the righteous path, even when no one is watching you. So the next point, wealth and status do not guarantee success, and it's very clear. If money leads us away from Allah, it becomes a curse. Allah gave money and wealth as a blessing. But if that leads us away from Allah and you turn arrogant and you blind your eye to, with the truth and other things, then it becomes a curse. So the only true wealth is faith and good deeds that you do in this world that will help you in the other world. The third one, our family can lead us to Jannah or hell. So here again in this surah, it is very clear, right? Abu Lahab's wife, a spouse should be source of support in faith, not towards sin. So we must help our family members, our partners to stay on the righteous path, not on the wrong path. The next point is opposing the truth that leads to eternal loss. So no matter how strong someone is, opposing Allah, that lead to failure. History is full of powerful people who were destroyed and destructed because of their arrogance. So Surah Yunus, if you take, there is a verse, and we destroyed many nations before you when they did wrong, and their messengers came to them with clear proof. So destruction, if the arrogance is there, destruction is very much essential. Now the question is, how can you apply this surah in your daily life? First, most importantly, check your heart of arrogance. Do we ever reject good advice out of pride, out of arrogance? Do you look down on others because of status or wealth? That's very important. Check your heart for arrogance. Secondly, use your wealth for good. Wealth is a test, wealth is a blessing. Use it to help others, not to gain, not to increase arrogance. And thirdly, protect your family from negative influences. Surround yourself with people who strengthen your faith. Protect your family from any kind of negative influences. So never mock or oppose Islam. That's one of the key lessons that you have learned here. Be careful never to mock or belittle Islamic teachings. And that's not good. So, my dear brothers and sisters, as you see, Surah Al-Masad is a powerful reminder that arrogance, hatred, and wealth without faith that can lead to definite destruction. So stay humble and seek truth, and never ever let pride stop you from doing what is right. So my question is, what is that one lesson you learn from this surah, from this discussion, and you're going to apply in your daily life? Share your thoughts. And also, if you like the video, share it to your friends. And if you like the video, you can give a thumbs up so that it will, help in the YouTube algorithm and other things. And that will help definitely me also. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. May Allah bless us all.